Good evening and welcome back to the Football Bloody Hell podcast with my co-host Karl and my two esteemed guests, Douglas from the Douglas Dugout Football Channel and our good friend Andrew Walker all the way from Drumchapel. How are we doing, gents?
No bad.
Good, thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Pleasure having you boys. Nice little surprise to have you in, Andrew.
Hi, man. It's always fun to be here.
When it's the four of us, yeah.
Right, may as well get straight into it. About last night's results. Go straight ahead with Barcelona PSG. PSG winning, was it 4-1? 4-1 at finish.
Mm-hmm.
What were we thinking after that? After Friday's show.
Well, I mean, I think the saying is, I think the three of us said on that thing. I think Nick said it as well. We said that Barcelona were not going through in this tie. Mbappe turned up last night. Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable performance. I don't even think the Barcelona penalty was a penalty. I think it's the same. I think it's the same UEFA Lona as you'd like to call it. But I think Frankie de Jong trips himself, and it's a fantastic penalty from Messi. But after that, PSG just took over, and I like the fact that Ronald Koeman was smiling at the end of the game, having a laugh. Like, does he know what he's just done? He's just guided Barcelona to a very heavy defeat, and now Barcelona are needing, I think, 5 goals to go through.
PSG
Not good to forget.
And there's no way that Barcelona are coming back from 4-1 down.
No, it will not. It can't happen again. Listen, be honest with you. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but not with this team that they have, Barcelona. They're not going to make a comeback like they did 4 years ago. It's done with that one, because look at it. The Barcelona's been under, since they've not won the Champions League since 2015, right? They've really been so bad. I think they got to semi-finals, quarterfinals. I think the last 16 1 point, and then semi-finals last season. The club is in so much disarray at the moment, and you feel to yourself thinking, what the fuck is going on? Because like we saw Koeman smiling after the game, was like, do you just know you just put the club that you played for, you represent, in a situation now? I feel like he wants to break the club and rip it into pieces for the next president who's going to have to fucking deal with this. So, and the next manager as well.
Yeah, it's
pretty much
abysmal. Since day one, Koeman taking over. I mean, there's been snippets of Barcelona doing well. I mean, Messi scored, a cracking goal at the weekend. But everything in context. These guys isn't the quality it was a couple of years ago. I don't think anyway. And PSG, Poch got that completely spot on. That's the only question I really had about PSG, and he'll love that even more being a man. So there we go. I mean, absolutely smashed. It's not the first time PSG went to them like a knife through butter, and I don't think the team's changed that much. I know there's a couple of youngsters and all that in, but there's no stars in that Barcelona team now. They're really relying on Messi and Griezmann. I'm going to laugh with Griezmann because he's picked the wrong team to go to, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I think he has them big time. Why you fucked with Atletico Madrid so many years and then you went to Barcelona? You think he was going to make a difference? No, you won't. You've kind of fucked up your career in a way. I'm looking at from what happened last night, what him and PK had a freaking argument. PK saying, fucking hell, let's go. A fucking long session, fucking hell, Greasy. Greasy came back and said, fuck you, calm down, stop yelling your mother's cunt. I'm like, whoa. I think PK was up to take none of that. I think he came back, no, fuck you, and your mother's cunt. We are suffering like running something and run like crazy people. That just shows that how bad things are at Barcelona. The arguments is going on, and I'm surprised that. I know it's true. Listen, I feel like I feel like at some point, and I think Andrew agrees with it, there's going to be huge clear at Barcelona, big time, like Griezmann and Dembele, and probably Coutinho as well, because they have really not performed well, and Messi will probably go at the end of the season as well. That team needs to either bomb itself altogether and start over fucking again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all you have to do, I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't see the game, but I didn't need to kind of know what happened there. You just look at the lineup of Barcelona there, and you compare it to the teams that did win the title. Xavi and Iniesta are gone, obviously, and like De Jong's come in, he's all right. But everyone else, I mean, PK must be a fair age now. Alba be getting up there, and Messi's no spring chicken either, and he can't do it all himself. So it's a case of where did Barcelona go? I mean, they created the team that they had, the great team that they had out of their academy, and then obviously that creates problems because you don't know where the next lot are going to come in and when they're going to get their chance when these great players are already in front of them. Now they need to kind of bring it through, and if things go wrong, fuck it, things are going wrong anyway. So they have nothing to lose from bringing through the next crop from La Mesa and trying to build from there.
But the point is, they're so much in debt, and the last player that came through La Mesa was Sergio Roberto. When Pedri and Alison Fati come through, but it's not the same numbers they used to get back in the early noughties that's come through. So how the fuck they can fix it? Well, they spent over £500 million on players that really don't fucking perform their best, such as Coutinho, Griezmann, Dembele, who's been a liability with his injuries. How can you justify that?
Well, the question is, why have they not brought through those players? Is it because previously great players were blocking their progress in the first place? And maybe if the way is clear, then that obviously changes kind of how they get on. And the only way you can find out if they're good enough is to play them. As you said, they're in debt. They don't really have much choice anyway.
Yeah, I think the thing is that I'm just seeing the team here, and like looking at it, you don't have like Neymar, you don't have Suarez. I mean, Dembele's a good player, but he's never a Neymar. Griezmann has been an absolute disappointment since joining Barcelona. The other thing which I really don't get is why they've given Martin Braithwaite, a Middlesbrough reject, the number 9 shirt. There's a lot going wrong in Barcelona, but to give someone who is a Middlesbrough reject the number 9 shirt after Luis Suarez is gone, it's embarrassing. And full credit to PSG, who look like they could actually be a threat in this year's Champions League.
Yeah, it was like the Bayern Munich game all over again, one from last summer. It was the same kind of result, just better players all over the pitch.
Yeah.
It's a madness when you actually think they let Thiago Alcantara go. I know it's not quite working at Liverpool at the moment, right? But he's world class. If anyone watched him over the last couple of years, that boy's got class. You look at that midfield and they're missing someone like him 100%. Yeah. I know he left years ago when Pep went to Munich, but
to buy it. Yeah, it's true. It's true though.
Where's the Barcelona identity? I think they're in the state they were in sort of 2001, 2002 when just before Rijkaard took charge. That's what
there was a lot.
I'm sort of young.
Yeah, there were a lot of issues at Barcelona. Yeah, there was a lot of issues at Barcelona at the time they were doing that.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, when they had the handkerchief when it was, I think it was just before 2004 when Rijkaard did take over. Barca was in disarray because Madrid was actually doing quite well in the European year, as well as the European years, because they won 3 trophies at the start of the 2 trophies at the start of the millennium. So to quite honestly, three. So to quite honestly, that's how far Barcelona had to reinvest themselves. I was watching their documentary again the other day, Take No Passport, how they accomplished the greatest team at that time between when Pep took over. You could see how much different it was. I'm like, how the hell is Barcelona go from that team with the best team in the world to now where they are? It's
just went away from the roots, man. They went away from the way of Johan Cruyff.
Absolutely.
The thing is, I think it's going. I mean, we're in this cycle now of being really weird. You know, there's no real domination in Europe. You know, like Barcelona were dominating, Real Madrid done back to back. I think the only real back to back thing has been Liverpool at the final 2 years in a row, won the second one.
Yeah.
And really,
the thing is with this, you look at Bayern Munich this season, like they won the Club World Cup. The other thing is that they're still top of the Bundesliga, but they are having some very funny results. They have lost 4-1 to Hoffenheim this season. They drew 3-3 at the weekend with Arminia Bielefeld, which was a big game, which was a big shock as well. And the fact is that, you know, they were playing in really bad snowy conditions. Like if you watch that game on BT Sport, like you could hardly see the ball. So I can understand what, you know, both sets of players are complaining. But I have to say that anyone who beats Bayern to the Champions League wins it this season, in my opinion. I still think Bayern Munich are the favourites for the Champions League.
Yep, so I second that one as well.
Yeah, Bayern and PSG are the strongest teams.
I will put Atletico Madrid maybe in that discussion as well, though, because they have been a lot better. So if they can do well against, you know, this week, in the next weekend, next week's first leg. So yeah.
Yeah. Burnley have equalised against Fulham.
Ashley Barnes, I believe.
And St Mirren are 1-0 up against Akis.
Yeah, it's still 1-1. Late score in Levante between Levante and Atletico Madrid after 63 minutes. So that's not changed as much yet. But Atletico look like they're getting a bit more chances. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd expect Atletico to come back and win that.
And you get on to
exactly.
You know, probably unexpected, but Liverpool against Liverpool win 2-0 against Leipzig. That you alluded to on Twitter, Douglas.
Yeah, I thought last night. I thought that it was a calamity of errors for Leipzig. I mean, I think we have to say that you actually meet Upamecano on a really bad day. You meet Mukiele on a really bad day, and Klosterman. The back three for them was really, really poor. They've made so many errors. I mean, I've never seen Upamecano give the ball away so much in like a Leipzig game.
Very rarely he does not do that, and he did like that last night. I was very surprised because Bayern Munich just announced that they got him for the summer, and then when he comes in the summer, and now you see why there was a bit, you know, there was the off day. You could get him off day, especially the day when they just announced that you joined Bayern in the summer. So yeah,
and also the fact is that, you know, the person you don't give the ball to is Mohamed Salah, because Sabitzer plays a straight ball straight towards Mohamed Salah, and you just back him in those sort of positions. Yes, you know, we've been on a really bad run, but the Sadio Mane one, like Mukiele, I don't know why he's diving in. You know, he should just clear that ball, but, you know, it bounces. He completely misses it. Sadio Mane goes on to, you know, score. I thought we defended very well. I thought Kabak and Henderson were fantastic. I have to give a big shout out to Curtis Jones, who I have to say has just gone on from strength to strength this season. He has been fantastic, and you know, maybe Karl, he might be on the outside chance of the Euro squad this season.
Yeah,
No.
it would not be surprising. You know, I think he's in that discussion as well. He would not be surprised he's in that discussion at the moment as well. I think this is going to be a so much youth selection dilemma because I think I actually spoke my old support worker Rash. He did message on our Facebook page and he said, "Why is Cresswell not involved in discussion?" And I think I have to give him a point. Cresswell's fit one, but I think he doesn't be good because it is going to be youth selection dilemma not just in the front three in the midfield. It's pretty much all the positions is going to be a youth selection dilemma because. This is probably because we've got over 40, I think it's now 40% of players this season English playing in the Premier League compared to what was like 2 years ago. It's like under 30%. So it's a huge increase that there's now there's more English players that are going to be considered for selection as well. So it's going to be interesting from there this summer with Southgate because he needs to make the right choices. He can't, if at least one person out that deserves, who's been doing well, deserves, then it's going to be huge controversy with that one.
Yeah, but the other thing is that I've been saying this as well. I don't know if the second leg is going to be at Anfield. So I think there's been talk that the second leg might be away from Anfield. There is talk that it could be played in London, which is very interesting. But I know I'm thinking that as well. Why don't you just play it? I know that Leipzig have had to go to Hungary. I know that you're not allowed in Germany, etc. But just either play at Anfield or play somewhere neutral. But the thing is, I can't see Leipzig scoring 3 against us. I think we've got 1 foot in the quarterfinals now.
It's true.
I don't know if it's a stream of connection, but a couple of faces are matching the guys.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
Never mind.
Yeah.
But the thing is, going on to the sort of Euro squad, England once again, right, I've got a sort of a talent in the midfield game. You know, there's an embarrassment of riches. He's going to shit it again in the semi-finals against Germany then.
Can I just ask you, Karl? South Fraud. I'm going to call him South Fraud because, in all honesty, he has all these players at his disposal, but he will keep picking his favourites. Right? How far do you think you can go in the Euros? Because I honestly think that England have got a very good chance of getting to at least the quarters and semis. I don't see them winning it.
It's been a tough one with that one because I feel like the final is our main target, but I don't see that as our main target. I think the maximum we can get to is semi-finals, but the minimum is going to be quarterfinals altogether with this one because there is going to be a little bit of issue on a certain day where we're not playing well against a top another European team such as either France or Germany or even Spain. I don't think we'll be there at the game. I don't think we'll be there at the game at that particular time, and I think that will be a huge worry for that one. And I think, at the moment, I can't see us getting to the final at the moment because every time it's the problem with it's a goalkeeping situation. You know, we've talked about this debatably about can Pickford keep England? No, he can't. And I think there's now questions of will Nick Pope be the number one? Probably yes, but Southgate needs to make a decision sooner rather than later. Which goalkeeper he needs to trust from the first game in the Euros and the group stages, who can get us to our targets. But it's going to be a tough one with that one. I think Southgate's got a lot of issues he's got to do with. He can't be picking the favoritism. I think we've seen that now. I've seen a lot more now in the last year and a half and 2 years. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes with this one.
Yeah. Thing is, it's not an easy group.
No.
I mean, you're going to have to put up the ups. And they're on some momentum train coming down. I mean, even if the fans aren't on the ground, the Tartan Army is going to be present in London.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no. I mean, the way we've qualified and sort of got there, and you know the Scottish players that are in London, the amount of Scottish players that are playing in England, it's brilliant. It's going to make it a lot more competitive. Another Scotland England you look forward to. And you know what? Off the top of my head, I can't remember any of the other games.
Well, there's a group, you lot in group along with us and Croatia, Czech Republic and Croatia. I think this is going to be interesting who finishes between the top. Yeah. Just, you know, it's interesting where we're going with English because, like I said, the second game we're playing on this 18th of June. That is a make or break one for Southgate if he doesn't beat you, if we don't beat you guys. That will make a break for him.
Yeah, you've got a really poor record against Croatia, whereas Scotland have got a very good record against Croatia and a good record against Czech Republic. So I go into the Euros actually feeling confident that we can actually go through this group. Yes, you know, it may depend on our games against Croatia and, you know, Czech Republic, but if I look at those two games, I feel that we can beat them because we've beaten Croatia before, we've beaten Czech Republic before, we've beaten Czech Republic away and home, but it'll be a difficult test because they've got two of the best players at West Ham right now in Soufal and Souček, you know, so they're going to be a very, very big threat for sure. But I honestly see Scotland and England going through that group. I honestly do.
Yes, Croatia aren't the team they were when they got to the World Cup semi. Is it World Cup final?
World Cup final, yeah.
World Cup final, yeah.
They're not that team. They're not the team that they were a couple of years back, and we'll see how they've developed. Because other than Scotland and England, I've not really watched any other international team. So unless it's Scotland or England, I don't really fuss about it because I'm not a big fan of international football in general.
No.
I danced about the house like an absolute fucking idiot. When we qualified.
You lot deserve to qualify. You fucking deserved it over Serbia because they were just atrocious on two legs. And just, look at Croatia's record. Yeah. Look at that Croatia. I know. Look at that Croatia's record. They have the. I know. Yeah, you are rivals for this one for the Euros in the group stage. But look at Croatia's record. They've only won 2 games during 2020. That's how bad it is. They lost 5 games on the bout. Last 5 games and drawn 1.
Yeah, that's not good. Not good at all.
So yeah, it's a huge
win.
You
know what I do? I like our chances of qualifying from that. It's going to be sort of once in a lifetime getting through in that group because that group does favours the home nation, but we all know how we both like to fluff our lines at times.
You've also got to remember that 4 out of the 6 third place teams will qualify for the knockout as well, which increases the chances further.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, like I said, out of the 3 that come out group, it will be us, and then you lot, and then probably. I might have to say Czech Republic because Croatia, like I said, they're still a huge rebuild and they're not the same team. Andrew's right. The team is going for huge rebuild and they've been out of form since for over a year. So I can't even see them getting out of that group. I really can't.
Yeah. Sort of a bit like between when we played in McLeish and then Clark's early games. We didn't win for quite a while, but at least we could see progress, I guess. Big Al Clark. Hamilton have equalised against St Mirren. On loan Aberdeen striker Bruce Anderson scored. So
I'm amazed Aberdeen let him go. In all honesty.
Yeah, true. Actually, yeah, I'm surprised with that one. Yeah.
On the stuff about the Rangers out like 5 players being caught at a house party and breaking COVID rules, and Gerrard's already come out and slammed them. And I think we were saying, I was saying earlier to one of my friends, I don't think any of them play for Rangers again.
No,
I think Gerrard
100%. Zungu as well, wasn't he like a summer signing or like a January signing or something? He'd hardly been seen. Hardly been seen, and you do that. I think their careers are over. I think Patterson's the other one. I think the big one. So yeah, I think you probably won't see them. Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
I said something. I said something in a chats with my mates for Karl. I was like, why don't you just wait till 55's confirmed and then hire a hotel? You're all in the same bubble anyway, and go and get pissed anyway. No one's going to grudge on that booking somewhere out. You know, like Liverpool did. They were in the hotel in a bubble and got pissed, and then Scotland qualified. You know, we've all seen the amazing videos online. Sort of St Andrew uses read the room, guys. No, read the room.
Exactly.
Celtic have just been bashed for the last 3 months.
Yeah, and what it means now is Rangers no longer have the moral high ground.
No, exactly.
That's been swept away from under their feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
they've got Europa League tomorrow as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd expect them to beat Royal Antwerp anyway. I know they beat Tottenham, but you know Tottenham had a bit of an off day. But Rangers, I just think they'll win. I think they'll win, and I think they'll win pretty comfortably as well.
True as well. But no, yeah, that like I said with the more high ground, what's going on, how that happened. I feel something Nicola Sturgeon because I don't think she wants to comment all the time about Scottish football because she's going to be the one who's going to be like take the whole game away if the players keep acting what they've been doing. It's stupid. You know your role. You're supposed to be, you have the high position rules, but don't try to break the rules like we can't do at the moment. It's just a fucking nightmare with that one. Because, she lambasted Celtic, and that was fair enough. And she was doing mostly Celtic the last couple of months lead up to now until when she actually lambasted Rangers. And, I remember the quote said, I will give this football Scottish or a can. You've done that so many times. Why have you not done more about it? If you're going to, sit, So, to be quite honest with you, they've lost that ball high ground, and like I said, those players would never play for Rangers ever again, never. So
none of them are older players. Like none of them are seasoned professionals, which is, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. But Bassey's just signed from Wigan. Dapu Maboud is on loan at Queen of the South. I mean. Oh, you've just done your career. You've literally just done your career.
Yeah. But, I mean, we've obviously had, big, sort of incidents with obviously Aberdeen, Celtic, Rangers. I think there was one with Kilmarnock, Motherwell, St Mirren. So, everyone's going to get to, have COVID cases, unfortunately. I think there's a Hibs player now having to self-isolate as well. This is the thing. You're just going to. I find that weird. I find that very weird as well.
It is weird.
We had a problem earlier in the year, and then the first game against Aberdeen, it was a false positive, and he could have played. but because we did, because whatever happened with the Scottish government in clearing it, we didn't get to play them. Whatever else goes on there, we're just going to get on it. We should just read the room and just not be stupid. I mean, do they players not see what happened to Gordon Jones, George Edmondson? Then there's people trying to get the Rangers physio in trouble for sitting playing Monopoly. If anyone's seen that picture,
no.
On Twitter.
Jesus.
But he's playing, you know, that must have been a wild house party playing Monopoly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just so much issue with Scottish football at the moment with that. It's COVID. And I don't think if you say this, you can say the same most of the parts in England as well over the few weeks ago, but I think they got their act together, you know. And there's the difference between Scottish football and English football. Thinking the government was really hard, and somehow the Premier League had taken action. But you know what? I'm surprised the SPFL have not taken more action to these clubs to get your shit together, because it feels like it's just a recurse all over again. You know, I don't know what more they can do, because if it has to be suspended again, like that, suspended the lower leagues as well as the Scottish FA, Scottish Cup, then I think it's just going to be huge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact that this has come out now and they're so close to winning the title, I think there's now 4 wins away or something now. So it's going to annoy Jards. It's going to annoy the Rangers board. They're just going to have to, you know, live with it. But the thing is, Jordan Jones and Edmondson, I think this is big thing. They're no longer at the club. Jordan Jones is at Sunderland, and I'm not sure where Edmondson is gone, but they're both not at the club. I don't think any of those 5 players that have just been involved in this will play for Rangers ever again.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, Edmondson's at Derby County and Jordan Jones is at Sunderland. And the thing is, one of these players are well known at another club. So Queen of the South, you know, I think they may have a decision to make to be like, get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Up in Glasgow anyway. Queen of the South go down in Dumfries.
Yeah, I have to go through at least 2 council areas.
True. Absolutely true. Hey.
I mean, you've got clubs who just, you know, Aberdeen players. I was always a bit involved with the situation there, because things were open. You know, the country was open to people being out and about. The Celtic Dubai thing. If Julian doesn't come back with COVID, there's no too heavily about it.
Yeah.
But people just aren't like, you know, just going, you know what, we'll just leave it. But I think they're entitled to be honest.
Yeah,
you know,
it's true though, because
big players doing it. That's what, you know. It's not been you know, Edouard or Morelos. You know, you've not seen Christian Deutsch have a big party, or, you know, Scotty Robinson isn't having parties again. You know, it's not been, you know, teams' key players that have been idiots. It's the players that have not been playing. I mean, I know the Aberdeen team was out, but Aberdeen was out that weekend. The whole city was out. So
yeah, it's going to have that. It's going to have that effect, unfortunately, that you're still going to get COVID cases anyway. But hopefully now we're seeing a little bit. I mean, there's been talk about the FA Cup and I think the League Cup final potentially having fans back in. So, you know, if we can do that, then, you know, who knows what will happen. But I think I think we have to be quite clear that rules are rules, and if you break them, you deserve to be punished. So, but as I said, I don't think any of those Rangers players will play ever again. And if one is Calvin Bassey, again, he's another summer signing. So, what? Just people being stupid, mate. People being stupid.
Yeah, no, absolutely stupidity with that one. Yeah, it's true though. The public, like you said,
games away from. Say that again, Andrew.
I'm saying none of the players caught were core contributors. So, in terms of the Rangers team, it probably won't make much difference to their title effort. It's just very, very bad PR, is all it is.
Cut the cloth.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And the thing is, there's not been like a sort of bad match against Gerrard or the club in the last sort of 12 months since COVID hit. They've recruited pretty well. They hit the ground running in the league. They blew everyone away in Europe. They beat Celtic twice. They could easily go unbeaten this season in the league, and it's not even been, they're not even getting blanked off like Brendan's Invincibles did.
Yeah,
I think that's a symptom of the press up.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me. I've seen it right down the middle. I'm not saying this is like Hibs fan. They're still trying to. I think they're still trying to push Celtic out as much as they can in the press. Because I think I was watching an interview with Mark Warburton a couple of years back. He said he got warned there's always coming to Rangers. Celtic, there's always got to be the good guy and the bad guy. And when they went to the Scottish Cup final and beat Celtic, he was a good guy, so this was all great. And then Brendan came in, Celtic, and started blowing everyone away, and Warburton was seen as a fraud. So I think, after I heard that, I was like, well, everything in context, you've got to look at it like that. And even I'm guilty of going, I'm not 8 weeks ago, I was saying, I want Jack Ross out. So, I'm as guilty as anyone of it. The mad thing is, we're on course to finish third, first time in, I think it's 15, 16 years maybe, and a record point total beating Neil Lennon's points total, which is a madness.
It's good. It's good to see. But I mean, the thing is, Hibs have been very good recently, and Aberdeen have really fallen away. I think that's full time at Celtic Park. Let me just check. Celtic are. Oh no, actually they're into the 89th minute. Still 1-0 Celtic. So yeah, Aberdeen have really fallen away, and the fact that Livingston. They've kind of lost a couple of games recently, but Aberdeen need to look over their shoulders because some teams will catch them.
6 games without a goal doesn't help.
But even that in context, Andrew, I think losing Cosgrove, like you said, it took a while to get Gary Hornby and Adrian. It doesn't help. You still get Canberra, Hornby, and Henry integrated into the squad. Canberra hit the bar tonight, seemingly.
St Mirren won, Hamilton one's a full time result.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes a while to kind of integrate. Yeah,
it does.
Takes a while to integrate 3 new strikers. Do I think McInnes is Yeah. Well, do I think McInnes is on a sugar bag?
I can't believe that. What's all that about?
beats me. I don't know.
I can understand it. I think though, we had this conversation last week, me, Karl, and Paul, about getting managers time. Spoke alluded to Lampard, and look at what McInnes has had to do every year. Was he best player or two every season, consistently in the top 4, because also he's finished 4th. I know the football's not great, but what you meant to do when you lose Scott McKenna and you lose, you look at players you have lost over the last couple of years. I think you've done well to keep. You just haven't really been embarrassed anywhere.
No.
European football's a boner. Aberdeen is probably, if I'm right, his most successful manager since Sir Alex.
Yeah, in terms of league position, he is. But the one place that he's not the best since Sir Alex is in Europe. That's Jimmy Calderwood, who got us to the group stage of the Europa League. And I think that's the one monkey in his back, and it's literally the one reason that's keeping him at Aberdeen, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on, do you think if he does get into the group stage at one point, do you think that his time will be done? If he
Mission accomplished. Absolutely. Yeah. Off he goes. Yeah. But but there's also going to be help with this new Diddy Conference League coming in. So that might help him too. Because the coefficient points are the same, so you might as well. So it'll get him into the group stage of Europe for something. So maybe that'll be enough. Depends how far we get.
The Conference League, I love that.
I like that. I like that actually.
Yeah, I think the Kings are getting a rough week. I think Aberdeen, I'm talking about keeping everything in context.
You
Aberdeen
really do.
have been shafted by COVID. Absolutely arse-raped by it. And, come on, how are you expecting McInnes to keep up with Celtic and Rangers having 100 times more of the budget of Aberdeen? I think Aberdeen might have a smaller budget right now.
Yeah.
And you're still, he's brought in McCrory. Can't even count Ojo as a signing because he's away to Wigan. The recruitment, I think, can be questioned at times, but when you actually look at the players you said, you look at Dylan George.
I was going to say, how did we get McGeoch off of you? How did that happen?
Didn't get him off us.
Because he moved and then he came back. We did that thing we always do with Scottish players that go down south too early. We bring them back.
Yeah,
I know.
It's a great transfer policy. I love it.
It's 1-1 between Burnley and Fulham full time.
Yeah. And Queen of the South have scored at Cali. Indeed.
Yeah. All in the last few seconds of the
Celtic Aberdeen's full time.
Yeah. We're just in the last minute of the Atletico Madrid Levante game. That's just in the 94th minute now. So that's going to be a huge draw for the Levante.
Fulham are only 6 points by Newcastle.
Please don't.
No, I can't let Newcastle go down again. I'm banging Newcastle staying up business. See, the thing is, I went to Newcastle Watford 2 years ago, and I'm a massive United fan, but you can't not help love it down there.
Yeah.
And it was the game at the famous wasn't the walkout, it was the protest with Ashley. And
yeah. Aye.
Remember, Iose Perez scored the winner.
Yeah.
Crikey. Yeah.
Whatever you do, you never go to Newcastle for a game. Don't end up the back. Don't end up way up the back. Because the walk-up stairs ain't worth it, man.
I've only ever been to one Newcastle game and I was 3 rows above the corner flag. And I saw Alan Shearer hold up the ball 3 rows away from me. It was wonderful.
Yeah. Speaking of Yeah, speaking of Newcastle, Andrew, with Steve Bruce being a little bit under pressure, I know you got some decent wins against Everton 2 weeks ago. Are you kind of worried about how the team will really have been struggling a lot more than that this season compared how they finished quite decently last season?
I mean, it's a difficult one to answer, really, because I think we started the season quite well, and then we just got a really bad run, and it's just that kind of inconsistency that's kind of really costing us. And I mean, it's like you said, I mean, we're only 6 points off the drop away from Fulham, and absolutely nothing is guaranteed. Nobody is too good to go down if you don't get the results.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I mean, the team.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. I mean, I would still back us to stay up. Just, I mean, at the end of the day, when we were talking about kind of where we thought everyone would finish, we said Newcastle would probably be scrapping, and that has been proven right so far. We were just kind of fooled by how good a start they had.
Yeah, absolutely, indeed. Yeah, I'm just looking at the squad for Juventus. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Go
on. He's saying he's just subscribed to the channel, so thanks for the subscription. He's saying, best mate, a Newcastle fan. I'm so sorry, he's never know what's like to win the Premier League. Who do you support? Asking that, there's only got 5 teams to win them, so just wondering who you support on that. I think winning the Premiership something else.
Jagster's a Liverpool fan.
That's why. Yeah, I thought it would be from your part.
Yeah, he's a subscriber to me. He's a Liverpool fan. So he's yeah.
Fair enough. Just seeing the Juventus team actually, and yeah, Delight's playing left back. I'm just looking at the Juventus squad. Delight's playing left back. Juventus, so
Matthias de Ligt. Matthias de Ligt is left back.
Yeah, and Cellini's playing right back. It's a 4-4-2 formation.
No. Alexandre. Hold on, Alexandre. He'll be playing left back. Looking at the team now.
Oh, so
Chiellini, McKenzie. He went back to 3-5-2.
No, well, it looks like it, but what I'm looking online, it's a 4-4-2 formation, but it feels like
Juventus should win. Juventus should win that game, but they've been very inconsistent in Serie A under Pirlo.
Yeah, that result of the weekend was a weird one.
Yeah.
I've got it as Delight and Chiellini playing at centre half, Danilo at right back, and Lobo Silva.
Fair enough. Yeah, well, they could update the formation.
Error. Yeah.
So fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. I'm seeing the comments with that one.
Yeah.
But actually, we have to go to Chelsea with that one. Yeah,
I was just about to go there. Chelsea have been unbeaten since Thomas Tuchel took charge. He's fighting them for the top 4, anyways, because that's going to be a hog top end of the season for everyone from maybe 3rd to 6th or 7th, I think.
I'm in 50-50. I mean, Chelsea do play good football. But the one thing is that if he keeps changing his goalkeepers, now I know he has said that Edward Mendy is number 1, but you play Kepa Arrizabalaga against Newcastle. Like, okay, he made a save. Like, I could have probably saved the header from Willock. He basically plays for the camera. Does Kepa. So Chelsea have started really well under Tuchel. there is going to be a period where they are going to probably, struggle. I don't think they'll get through against Atletico Madrid. I think that's his biggest test yet, is the Atletico Madrid game. I just don't see Chelsea going through that.
Yeah.
Maybe they might win the FA Cup, but I think top 4 is going to be very, 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 very interesting, because I think Chelsea are the lunchtime kickoff on Saturday away at Southampton, which is not an easy game, and they drew 3-3 with them earlier in the season. So I think they've got some tough games coming up. I think they've got Man United coming up. I think they've got City to come as well. They've still got to go to Anfield as well. So they've got some tough games ahead of them, but it's all about keeping their players fit. And I'm not buying the fact that people were saying that it was a bicycle kick by Timo Werner. It wasn't even a bicycle kick.
Exactly.
I've not seen it, but it's good on. I think the class of player he is, right. I still think he's a cracking player, and sometimes teams just aren't right for certain players. I think he would have more suited United or Liverpool. I genuinely thought he was made for Liverpool. Instead of Firmino, we play Firmino on a 10. There was a 10 in behind.
Yeah.
Werner, sort of Salah, Mane.
And of course, if he'd gone to Liverpool, then it would have been a bicycle kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point. If he did go to Liverpool, yeah.
Too right. Too right.
Yeah.
I just think he needs to
go on from this one against Leipzig.
What's that?
After the win against Leipzig, you can get yourself back together again.
It's too early to say. I don't think the best game is the Merseyside derby. In all honesty, I think the Merseyside derby is going to be a very hard game. Obviously, Everton are playing Manchester City. That is going to be a very tricky game, especially without Calvert-Lewin as well. There's talk that Calvert-Lewin might not actually make the derby, which would be a big blow. And to see Pickford's back in goal tonight for Everton. Just something in the back of my mind thinks that maybe Everton might get something this evening, and if they do get something from City, then this is their best chance. This is their best chance of beating us for a long time. So I think we've got the derby. I think it's Sheffield United, and I think it's something in the likes of like Wolves and Newcastle, Arsenal. I think coming up as well. So. We've got some tough games, but I just feel that was a confidence boosting victory last night, and if they can keep going on the way that they've been going, then they might get back into. I'm not going to say the title because because we're well out of that just now, but top 4 definitely on.
Yeah, and looking as well, Everton are only like 2 points behind, 2 games in hand. So it's everything to play for at the moment. The top 4.
Yeah, and I think we mentioned before, like, to come back to your original question, like, Chelsea losing to Atletico Madrid would help them immensely get into the top 4 because it's one less front they have to fight on. I would put it to you there that, like, the worst thing that could happen to them is if they somehow upset Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
And getting out of the FA Cup probably wouldn't kill them either.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. I could have total blessing in disguise for Chelsea. I'm a jester in the comments. I can't see City losing for a long time.
No.
Points for that matter. I'm totally with that. From middle to the back, they're playing great football. They're doing it for that centre forward. Sergio Aguero hasn't scored in a calendar year for them. Obviously, he's had these injury problems, but
that's mental.
No, and the thing is, I don't see him signing I don't think he will extend his contract as well, which would not be surprising. I think because he's been injured, I think his time at the end is done.
Yeah, I don't see Sergio Aguero staying in City.
On a lighter note,
Haaland might goes down to 50 million. I think it's after this summer or next summer. There's something to do with his release clause, and I think his dad's ties to City. I could see him going there. As much as he's linked with United and Ollie. We've got an incredible board for doing transfers, so not expecting that to materialise. I could see him going to City, or if Leeds do prop right up, the fairy tale for Leeds fans is he ends up back there.
Porto have scored against Juventus.
Yeah, just seen that scoreline as well, Douglas. Porto have scored. Yeah, Porto have just scored in the first 2 minutes of the game.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Well,
Douglas, this is more a question for you. Andrew,
I was going to say, on a lighter note, did anybody see the clip about Aguero's son wanting Jamie Vardy's shirt? and it was just the caption, like, this is, like, is it Diego Maradona's grandson, Lionel Messi's godson, and Sergio Aguero's son wants to grow up like Jamie Vardy?
Get banged. Get banged.
Party Ibiza. It just reminded me there when we were talking about him, that's all.
Absolutely.
Back to the real shit. Anyway, go on.
Douglas, probably a question for you. Liverpool end up in the Champions League. Would that be a bad season?
Considering that we've been in the top 4 for most of the season, we are sitting outside it now in 6th. I think winning the Champions League would be success. Finishing 5th, considering the amount of injuries that we've had and the amount of players that were maybe coming back, I think we maybe have Keita coming back. I think Diogo Jota's coming back. As soon as they come back, I think we'll be a much better team. And I think we'll probably win more games as well. The fact that we've got 2 centre backs, obviously, I think Ben Davies is going to probably have to bide his time, because I think Kabak is probably first choice now. Fabinho will probably play as centre back, and then that allows Jordan Henderson. I think the big thing we've missed this season is Jordan Henderson being in the midfield, because we miss his drive and runs through that midfield. So I think top 4 and a big run in the Champions League. I think that would be not really a successful season, but it would definitely paper over the cracks in what has been a very disappointing title defence, in all honesty.
Yeah, I don't think there's any stretch of the imagination that you can call that a successful season. When you win the league previous season at the canter, you did. Now, I mean, you have to ask kind of like how that decline can happen. Yes, losing both your central defenders and the injury problems aren't helped, but there's always, like, something I always say is, like, when the kind of, the bounce of the ball goes for you the way it did last season, to be able to win that, you're borrowing against next season's good fortune, and that's truly come home to roost today. That being said, when you win by the margin you did, you'd expect a team to be able to deal with the kind of adversity that you've dealt with better than they have.
You're absolutely right, and I think the fact is, I think that you look at title defences in the past. Chelsea, 16, 17, and then 17, 18. I think they finished 10th.
It was 15, 16, but yes.
Yeah, 15, 16, and then 15, 16 was the season that Leicester won it.
Yeah,
Leicester won it, and I think they finished 14th. Ninth.
There was right. They were in between the top and the bottom half. Yeah, they did.
So, like, people are saying it's the worst. It's the worst title defense, but other teams have finished lower. So, I think if we can get in the top four, I think they'll be good.
Yes, but how much of a decline was it? I mean, you think about Leicester probably only won it by a few points. Chelsea only won that title by a few points, then to drop to 10th. Whereas Liverpool won it by how many points last season?
19.
Yeah. So then you kind of have to consider the points.
Points-wise, he's worse than Moyes' Man United.
Wow. That's, yeah.
But, like I keep saying, everything in context with it all. That in context, right? I don't like defending Liverpool, right? But I've started to look at things right in the middle with it all. And not be a typical Mank.
Yeah.
I look at squad, the Liverpool squad, right? I look at the percentage of games that first 11 normally plays. Liverpool haven't had the squad to go right. Top 3 use out. I'm sticking another 3 in there with no change. A lot of that, the starting 11, like Robertson, Van Dijk, Alisson, Trent, Henderson, the front 3, they've played over 8% of the games.
Yeah.
I mean, you lose a Van Dijk, right? You look at when Man United lost in 2003, 2004. Yeah. No, 05, sorry. We lost the title. We were 10 points ahead of Arsenal, and Arsenal ended up invincible that year. The front have been off form. Salah's still been sensational.
Yeah.
The midfield hasn't been quite the same. It's not as if, you look at the great teams that have retained titles in the past. United had Fletcher and Carrick at centre back, but in midfield we had, Scholes and Ji-sung Park. It's totally. I think it's a total different thing.
Better depth.
Yeah, there was more back depth than United. Then yes, yeah, you have to agree with that one. I've just seen here Dortmund lose 1-0 in Sevilla.
That doesn't surprise me. Dortmund are completely inconsistent.
They're awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Suso. Good to see.
Suso's we just got a message from your subscribers, Douglas. He said Liverpool dropping so many points has made the league more existing than it was just City Liverpool, which he missed. He found it was boring.
Yeah, I can understand that. I think Liverpool City title challenges. I mean, it has been between City and Liverpool for the past few years, but you look at this season. Manchester United have been in there. Leicester City have been in there. So I think City for me, it's City's to lose now. I honestly don't see Manchester United being anywhere close to City, and I think Andrew will probably agree with me because they're way too inconsistent. And the fact that you play Lindelof and Maguire at the back is always going to cause trouble, because I actually think Lindelof would actually be better in Liverpool's team than he would Manchester United's team without Harry Maguire.
Yeah. Right.
Don't you say?
I'll get to both your points then. I like saying 21 was coming. It's a bit bad. In reality, right, you've got to look at City, and they just kept going. I mean, it was on the kick-off. True Jordan was saying that one against Chelsea. That one against Chelsea with no strikers with De Bruyne up in as a false 9. and you're sitting going, wow, Chelsea were on a good run at that point, and they dismantled them. Gary Neville alluded to it as well. Yeah, we've been pretty good. We've been good in moments. I could moan about United. The recruitment, I've moaned about this for about 3-4 years. I'm not even going to go into the Glazers because we'll be here for another 3 hours. We all know what's our shit owners in this chat. Use with who's Liverpool have? Was it before the come on? The other American.
Oh, Gillette Hicks. I don't know want to go back to that anymore. That was just shockingly bad.
Karl, use shit owners all the way up until the current.
Yeah, but we not only Chelino, we also had GFH as well, Capital as well. I remember they were the and Bates. They were the three last worst owners we had, and it was so bad. I think with Chelino it was worse because he was in the ruin and news like every other day about his antics. And just like, mate, just fucking let us play what we do. Stop interfering of changing our managers every so often and taking the number 17.
And that's without even talking about the original Peter Ridsdale.
Exactly.
Oh, he was shocking. He was shocking.
Yeah, he tops it, to quite honest with you. Not just the last three, but he tops it all together because the way he said, I remember that press conference said, when we get to the administration, it was all for a dream. I'm like, dude, you didn't need to take out so much fucking TV loans to try to get us in the Champions League, and they fucked us up. So,
Yeah, Jackster, I agree. No Hicks and Gillette talk. They milked our club bad. You're absolutely right. They were a nightmare.
Yeah. Ungrateful bastards. Complaining about Hicks and Gillette when we had Mike Ashley. I think we win the shit ownership sweepstakes. Nobody tops us there. No one.
That was a good point.
Yeah. Ashley.
I know.
I don't think we even need to because I think, Jesus. I mean, I go back to that game I was at St James's, and you could feel it in the crowd, man. It's horrible. That song that the Newcastle fans sung, "You Cockney Bastard, Get Out of Our Club."
Yeah.
We've got away with words, Geordies. We really have.
I know, exactly. Jeez, yeah, I'm not surprised with that one, actually. With Dortmund, we lose at the moment. They're just so bad because, as well, they could lose Haaland and Sancho because they're not going to get in the top. They've got someone, I think they're a bit of debt as well, so they're going to have to sell some players as well. But where do you see them two going next season?
No idea, to be honest.
I think Sancho still ends up at United. I don't think anyone else. From what people have said and what the sporting director of Dortmund said, is there was already an agreement in place between Sancho and United. He'd picked his house. I think he told Rashford and Jesse and Mason, "Boys, I'm coming." Just need to leave it to the club and Dortmund decided. Nah,
I think you get. I think Andrew, be honest with you. I think you get Sancho on a reduced fee that they wanted last summer because they're gonna have to do a quick file set in some way anyway.
I agree.
Lost all their leverage. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And going back to Douglas's point about a Maguire and Lindelof back four, I think the more problem is actually Lindelof and Maguire. I think Maguire's trying to do too much. I think he's overcomplicating his game. When he's been next to Eke or African Zabi, they've both got a bit of pace about them, so he can just do his thing. And I even looked at the goal at the weekend. That doesn't come if it's not for Maguire's forward run. I know Shaw put the ball in, and Bruno blast it into the back of the net. But the problem
I still think your best centre half is Eric Bailly. When he's not injured, it's Eric Bailly, but he just I can't see it.
He's a psycho as well, which I kind of love.
I bet you do.
He's a bit of a nut. He loves to foot and folk. I know that's not a good thing to have, but I like a bit of a nut job. It's like when Mourinho used to play him and Rojo together. And
yeah,
you know,
the fun days.
Yeah, Dortmund have equalised in the game.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce the guy's name that's equalised.
It's Mohamed Dahoud. Yeah, from outside the box. So yeah.
Oh, Mahmoud Dahoud, a ex-Liverpool target.
An interesting one, yeah. It's not worse than me having dyslexia when I have to try to pronounce names as well. So don't think you're the only one I do that one. So even Douglas knows that one quite well. So yeah,
100%. Yeah, 100%.
I know it's totally unfootball related. This will probably interest Andrew Walker. Richard Ashcroft's announced that a new single is going to be released on the 19th.
All right. Look forward to that one.
Just got the email through from his website.
All right.
I think is there anything else we can go into, boys?
I agree with Jegster's comment. I miss the days of hard men in the Premier League, Roy Keane versus Vinnie Jones, etc.
Yeah,
I'm well there. I mean, I sort of miss the fact you can't even fucking tackle now, man. I mean, some of the tackles people get sent off a joke.
Yeah.
And the diving era, it's just it fucking does my head in. I mean, VAR's meant to stop this shit. VAR's making it fucking worse. Oh, I touched you like a fairy. Put down like a sack of patties.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
I mean,
Yeah, do you know what? Speaking of that, oh god.
Yeah, that was never a penalty.
No, it wasn't. Do you know what? I take it you lot heard last night what happened in the league.
Oh dear.
Can we get on to the embarrassment him and Lindelof? Someone pronounced that West Brom forward's name. Yang, I think it was.
Oh, what's his Mbangye, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Mbangye, that's it. I mean, I think he's goal. Even though it was against my lot, putting his hand in Lindelof's face and making it horrible for him, because that's what all favourite strikers probably done. Like Andy Cole and all that. You could have put a bit of meat there and he'd fought for it, you know what I mean? And then Maguire to the ground. And Maguire's looking for a foul. What are you doing, slaphead?
Yeah.
I couldn't see that whole game. I could have went full bloody Roy Keane. Never mind this bloody keeper. These fucking defenders.
Sorry. I'm just laughing at the Queen of the South goal scorer, Norty.
That really a name, seriously.
That's NORTY. Tei and then Nortey.
That's a proper African name right there. That's a proper African name right there.
Naughty.
Oh my God! Do you know,
That
guys?
beats Aberdeen legend Eugene Daddy. That beats that.
Yeah. Go close to that one. Oh my God! I take it you lot saw last night in League One the referee that Darren Drysdale knocked head with Alan George. I couldn't believe that. And I Sergeant going against Judge. I'm like, bloody hell.
Get him in the Premier League.
Boy's been charged.
He was assistant referee, but he never refereed in the Premier League.
Yeah, boy's been charged.
Because I think I've heard about him as well. He actually had a. Yeah, but you know what? But I heard at one point, and it's true, that Dean Windass, who used to play for Bradford City, Drysdale sent him off in the car park after the game. It is no joke. That is true.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Dean Windass.
Yeah.
Another former Aberdeen player, and he was nicknamed Windass 95. Because of the year he came to Aberdeen, he was Windass 95.
Really?
Aye.
Yeah.
Crikey.
You've ever looked at his open goal under the caution interviews?
I have not, no.
By the way.
Yeah.
I love what Johnson said. That poor German said it named Kuntz. Yeah, Stefan Kuntz. I remember that now. Yeah, I remember that name.
Yes, John Motson swearing completely out of context now.
That's
the thing is, Ryan gets things like that anymore. You just get Gary Neville going, ah! You know, you get Gary Neville orgasm on Sky Sports.
Yeah.
So no. Some mad shit. Just some mad shit going on. Like, you know what? I would have loved if that ref stuck not an Alan Judge. I would have loved it. I actually would have loved that. Just going, not him.
Do you know what? Because Drysdale occupation, he was in the RAF, so he has to Iraq. And I was really surprised. Like, okay, this dude is a bit like he's not gonna miss foul. So, oh crap, okay. He's like, whoa. I couldn't believe a referee did something like that. And that's the first time I've seen that in a game of my life, but no. But looking at the picture, he's like, looking at the faces, that the look is like, yeah, that look right there. It's not surprising. It's not surprising he did that one.
You just looked at it and thought, what are you doing? What the is going on? Never mind what's the goalie doing, Tom. What's the ref doing, boys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the mental thing is, right, Alan Judge has went from being sort of a ball here away for Newcastle for big money, having a double leg break, and now he's going to be one. Years ago, he went to join Newcastle, I think. Was it Leeds at one point?
No, frankly not, actually.
I could even join Leeds.
Alan Judge, I think, was at Blackpool.
Yeah, he was at Blackpool. That was true. He was at Blackpool. Yeah.
Oh. I
know Blackbird actually. What Blackpool? Blackbird. Yeah. Yeah. And he was at Brentford. His last club was long term was at Brentford. So we look like we have. Yeah. Hopefully we can get it back. Jesus, don't really.
That's
not surprising. Yeah.
That is not a surprise to me either.
Really is it not a surprise at all, actually. Yeah, but man, I love that referee, actually. I love Drysdale. How he stood up to him. There you go. Two of the players that we just talked about who'll be linked with moves away. So
that's some team Dortmund have got though when you actually look at it. That midfield's frightening. Royce, Chan, Sancho, the Hood, Bellingham.
We got it back.
Greetings, Andrew.
Yeah, with company. Greetings
we've got an
again.
extra
Oh, you got to cover your cat with yeah.
No, I left because I didn't know I could come. I couldn't leave the thing because I was trying to Google Alan Judge, Wikipedia, who he played for, but.
Oh yeah, hi. I've done that before. Yeah, I've done that before. Don't. I better not do that at 10 o'clock this evening.
See, this is why I'm on my laptop. This is why no one who's on my laptop can have both Skype screens. So looking at the camera and then looking at you guys and then looking at one page. So leave that one to me. I'll take over that one in the future. Yeah. And Andrew with his phone. Yeah, exactly.
I do the same, but my laptop's mic is just it's not happening.
Yeah, if you didn't hear under 2-1 up, Andrew.
Yeah.
Haaland assisted from Sancho.
All right, Dortmund have turned it round. Yeah.
Yeah. Very quick turnaround.
They'll probably be all wanting to put themselves in the shop window at this point.
You know Haaland's going to go about the way he's already went about. I mean, funny thing is, I seen him I watched his last game for Malmo. His last act for Malmo was putting Hibs out the Europa League.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true, actually.
Yeah, that's right. Good grief.
The one thing... Right, it wasn't even Malmo, it was...
It's Mould.
It was always old club.
Mulder.
Yeah.
Mulder, yeah.
Mulder. I never thought I'd see the day Ole Gunnar Solskjaer manages an opposition team at Easter Road, and then by the December, he's Man United interim manager.
Mental. Absolutely mental.
Very mental, yeah.
The
dreams are made of.
I thought the 0-0 with Mulder, I wasn't even bothered with it. I thought, oh my God, I've got a chance to be a Man United legend. Got a chance to meet Ole. Totally miss him. Already in the stadium and all that by the time I got down. Never thought I'd see that. It's an absolute madness.
Yeah, true.
And tomorrow we've got Europa League, which is going to be... I just hope United just don't put out a full squad.
Well, Van de Beek, Martial, Cavani are all injured, aren't they?
Yeah, that's true. And Real Sausage are no pushovers. That's the problem. They're no pushovers.
I'd literally just play the players that aren't in form at the moment.
I'm calling it now. Januzaj will score.
Yeah, he will actually.
What a player, man. What a player. Absolutely love that lad for that years. Even just let him do what he wanted from the field.
Right up there with Federico Makeda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also David Silva.
I don't know if any of you... David Silva?
Yeah, he plays for Sociedad.
I don't know why, but...
His reaction just got there. Yeah, man. That's what I said to you, the no pushovers for Sociedad. The no pushovers, man.
I think the best thing about Sociedad tomorrow is that they don't have Willie and Jose.
He's a good point, actually.
Yeah, he's at Wolves, isn't he?
Yeah, he's at Wolves. Yeah.
I don't know if any of you have actually seen. You all remember Ravel Morrison?
Yes.
In West Ham.
Yes.
He was on Rio Ferdinand's YouTube channel, on his YouTube show, Vibe for Five, telling the stories about sort of what's happened to him throughout his career. And tell you what, he might be a bit of a loose cannon himself, but he's been treated terribly, by the way.
Really?
Tells you what happened at West Ham and all that went on. Good watch.
Yeah, there was some sort of thing with Sam Allardyce about bribery. Was bribery or extortion or something?
It was I think it was a bit of both with that one. There was something about, because I read your story about that yesterday on BBC Sport about that when I was working last night. So, but I thought
he's a dinosaur of a manager now. I hate to name the term dinosaur, but Sam Allardyce is a dinosaur of football. And to be honest, like, it hasn't worked for him at West Brom, so I can see him walking away before they get relegated.
Just to keep his reputation intact.
See, the thing is, I feel the whole thing about Randall Morrison, right? He clearly needed to be taught the ways of the world by someone. Dad wasn't around. He basically went to United, and he didn't even feel like he was good enough to break into the first team, which is mental, considering, you know, when you hear anyone talk about him, including Fergie, he's one of the greatest players he's ever seen, up there with the likes of Giggs and Scholes.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember his first time in United, it was a back heel. It's a back heel against Crystal Palace, and that, I remember I think it was League Cup semi-final.
Yeah. But you know what the thing is? Yeah. You know what the thing is?
As well.
Yeah. You know what the thing is, Andrew? That picture we saw him and Lingard and Pogba, all three of them had the FA Youth Cup trophy. It just feel like it was a decade ago with that one. And look how the two players who are now playing in the Premier League and look, most of his career has been a journeyman all over the world. You know, it's never unexpected with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says like he absolutely loved it at West Ham, but Big Sam was just an absolute pick on. And which I actually, you know, sort of love Big Sam, but see after that I'm like, nah, you've just literally ruined someone's football. Because see that first year he went to West Ham, after done his loan spell at
QPR.
I remember if it was Birmingham or QPR.
It was QPR, yeah.
And it's unbelievable for
QPR.
Goes back to West Ham, and you know, scores that goal against Tottenham, plays the whole season, was brilliant. He tries to go back to West Ham, and Big Sam was like, I think West Ham was like, no, you're going to Cardiff, and that's sort of taking him down there. I mean, even in that, he's at fault himself, but I just thought, listen to that as well, like, you don't know what's going on with people, all that, and then the he's got, and you know, he's been given a bad write-up by a couple of managers.
Yeah, it's true, very true.
And then Lazio. It's true, and I think going to Lazio really thought. Yeah. No, it's interesting that one. I'm going to have a listen to it myself, and you know, because like I said, Morrison, I could see the talent it was in him, but the people around him, it was just probably the even need around him, you know. So especially with him not having his parents around, and I think he was like, you know, he was living with his grandparents before he moved to London for West Ham. So
yeah,
quite possible. It doesn't go quite into all that, but it is a good watch.
Yeah.
I think it's who's he got on? We've got Stephen Howson's on his podcast every week, and I think it's Cheeky Sport Joe on it. It's somewhat. I think you kind of need to hear all people's sides of the story. I mean, you look at what Lingard went through the last year, 18 months. He went through a hellish time. And
yeah.
On fire.
Absolutely smashing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you go.
Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, you're right. Look how Jesse Lingard's had to go through as well, so now he's like kind of redeemed himself in short space of time at West Ham, really huge. And like Ravel Morrison is now playing for the Jamaican national team as well. I think that has made a little bit of difference for him as well because he's got that trust now. He's playing plays with Liam Bailey from Bayer Leverkusen national team. So the least it is, he's getting a little bit of stability now in that Jamaican national team because like I said, Jamaica is not the best team, in the Caribbean, but they have one or two good players that plays in America and England. At least he's now getting, at least he's now having experience playing with them, because I think he does need a lot of stability, absolutely. So fair play for him, and I think we all know his story quite well, and I think people need to understand it a lot more of what it's hard when you try to become a professional footballer at such a young age under that pressure and dealing with personal life outside as well. So
yeah. So as if he was breaking through, West Brom, breaking through the age, and I still think it's mad we got only out of Morrison and Pogba, we've got a negative 88 million on it.
Yeah.
To buy Pogba back for 90 million and only sold Morrison for $1 million and something to West Ham.
Yeah.
Back to score tomorrow. I don't know. Depends what Team Holly puts out, really. I kind of hope he rests half of them. Because I think bread and butter's going to be staying in that top order because it's going to get tighter. Because teams are, starting to turn in the form.
I can see Sociedad winning the first leg. I could see Leicester beating Slavia Prague away. I can see Rangers beating Antwerp away. I think Benfica will beat Arsenal home and away.
True.
Thing is, the Arsenal's. They've not even touched on Arsenal. Going on to Arsenal, we'll do it briefly because we're going for an hour and a half, lads. And Douglas, you've got a stream at 10 o'clock to do your midweek predictions, so we'll get this done quickly so you can go get a bit of a rest before you go again. Arsenal, sitting what, 10th?
Yeah.
I know it's, I say give a bit of time. If he doesn't get somewhere near, later stages of the Europa League and get himself up the league, he's going to be in trouble.
I would agree.
Right amount of trouble.
Yeah.
100% agree.
I know he's had to clear out, but he's in the situation sort of all in just over 12 months ago. When we lost Pogba and that before Bruno came in. I think he's in a bit of a similar position. I don't know why he's not on his job wise, if Ollie had a poor January and didn't get Bruno in, Ollie would have been out of job.
Yeah.
Difference is Arsenal don't have a Pogba equivalent though, do they?
No.
They don't have that world record talent. What I will say though is Arsenal actually do have a good bit of form being strung together if you consider that before Christmas they were, near the relegation zone. So they have actually improved a fair bit in the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true in a way.
Yeah.
They're sitting just
yeah.
Christmas, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're another team that could do with dropping out of the Europa, but I don't think on current form Benfica should take them for granted.
Yeah. It's true though. It is, and they played well against us on Sunday in the first half, and then because, like I said, we weren't there. We weren't at the game until the second half until we got the 2 goals. So fair play to us because Aubameyang was the more critical one. Was not. Getting the hat trick over us this past weekend as well. So
would you draw Melly?
I don't think it's the problem with that one because if we did, the problem is we have to put his Kiko Casilla. I'm not having him in the net, and the problem is at the moment I can't put Kessie in the net with his situation. You know, that needs to be dealt. That should be dealt with months ago. He should have gone. You know, I think at the moment now it's going to be a huge summer because we have to get rid of Kessie and get a backup for Mizaire. We really need to.
Could be worse. You could get Aaron Ramsdale, or you could get Adrian.
Do you know what? Well, do you know what?
I think
Go ahead.
I actually think Ramsdale's such a bad keeper. I think changing teams when he did at an age he did, and Sheffield United being so inconsistent and having, you know, changes to the back three every week and all that. I think he's an alright keeper. I think he's got a lot to learn though. But he's you know, he's been there after 3 years of Dean Henderson being there. So
yeah,
it's kind of like replacing the man, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I kind of a Sheffield United. One thing Andrew actually said way back at the start of the season about Sheffield United, are they going to have second season syndrome? And fucking hell, you were right.
Mm-hmm.
I remember laughing at you about it, like, no danger. And then, boom, bottom of the table.
I didn't expect it to be that bad, mind you.
You said they finished about 18th, didn't you?
I did, yes. Said that they're going to be kind of in the mire, and I think they might just fall through the trap door. I didn't expect them to go head first, cannonballing to the trap door.
Yeah. Already there,
Aye.
Yeah.
Dortmund 3-1 up at the moment now. Haaland scored again. Yeah.
Interesting.
Goal scare if he's anything.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But Douglas, but going back to but Douglas, you're right. Going back to the Messi situation, I think Messi will still stay and go to the end of the season. I can't, if you put Kessie in there, it's just going to cause situations. And I think with his calamities, it's just not worth it at the moment with putting him in. So I think at the moment we'll just leave it as Messi until the end of the season, and then we'll see if we can get another proper backup goalkeeper such as Andres like that can really has Premier League experience and knows plays the type that Bielsa likes to play as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Sergio Romero's out of contract at the end of the season. I'm sure he'll make contact with him having the.
We have, but the thing is, Andrew, there were talks with him actually last summer about that. If we did get the Kessie. Yeah, I know, and I know that, and there were one or two talks, but I didn't believe it until Ivan Romero was going to be out of United because I know he got treated badly in the end. You know how he by the club, but Romero is that like for like under Bielsa. So we'll see what happens in the summer if we can get Romero. If not, we'll have to find somebody else that will suit it. So yeah. You know, so we'll see.
I think we've done a good stretch tonight. I'd like to thank Andrew and us for coming on. Thanks very much, boys.
Absolute pleasure. Glad to get on a night I'm not working. So usually work a Wednesday. So it's
it's very rare for you to be off on Wednesday, Douglas.
It's nice. It's nice to be off on a Wednesday.
It certainly is. That was a good 100-minute run there. That was good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. So, like I said, Andrew, we'll do it all over again next week, don't we?
What comes to the rest of the boys?
Right. Sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm.
Take it easy.
What we've got planned for the rest of the week, boys? Anything you want to plug, Douglas?
Yeah, I'm live later on with my match week 25 predictions. So come and join me for that. I'll be live at 10 o'clock. Decided to do it straight after the Everton Man City game. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Right. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you again next week. I'm recording a podcast tomorrow with one of my old schoolmates. Thanks, Jared. Start. See you back next week. Probably the same time. See if we can get the same faces on if Douglas isn't working again.
Well, I am working next Wednesday, so at night shift. So you're gonna have to see what you can do with that one. At least I'll tell you in advance. So.
Right. Right, boys. Thanks very much, and we're out of here.
Good night. See you later.
Good night. Good night.
Night.